throughout history, the most formidable weapon wielded by female dominance has rarely been what we expect. It is not the allure of beauty, the art of seduction, nor the obvious games of manipulation. Instead, it lies hidden in something far more subtle and profoundly unsettling, an invisible force that slowly strips away a man's essence. This is the very darkness Fyodor Dostoevsky warned us about centuries ago, a psychological power women have mastered to control men, drain their inner drive, and reduce them to empty shells of who they once were. Imagine the scene: the cold, unforgiving streets of 19th century St. Petersburg, 1866. There, a desperate Dostoevsky, burdened by crushing debt and despair, sits at a gambling table. His fingers tremble as he casts away his last coins with reckless abandon. Opposite him, a woman watches, not with compassion, fury, or even sorrow, but with a chilling, unyielding indifference. She neither pleads nor protests. She simply allows him to destroy himself. Why? Because she knows that once he touches absolute rock bottom, he will return to her, broken and begging for salvation. This silent, unrelenting act, this refusal to intervene, is the cornerstone of what can be called the passive annihilation tactic. It is an art form that erodes a man's spirit without a single raised hand or spoken word. It is a power quietly perfected across generations. Dostoevsky himself bore witness to this phenomenon, not only in the back rooms of Russian gambling halls and brothels, but also amid the splendor of Europe's most influential courts. History reveals more than mere military conquests. It unveils a psychological conquest, often more devastating than any battlefield victory. Consider Catherine the Great. Her empire expanded not only through armies, but through an uncanny ability to dismantle men's confidence by making their existence hinge on her approval. Even Napoleon, renowned for his military genius and relentless ambition, found himself undone, not by rival armies, but by the carefully penned letters of Josephine. Each word was a precise strike, undermining his ego and shattering his sense of purpose. The downfall of history's greatest men was seldom the work of blades or bullets. Instead, it was the slow and methodical stripping away of their mission. Here lies an uncomfortable truth. A man bereft of a true mission becomes enslaved to the craving for validation. And this is a truth women understand profoundly. Think for a moment. When was the last time your actions shifted, not because of explicit demand, but due to the weight of a woman's silent judgment? That new hairstyle, the career change, or the gym membership purchased after noticing her lingering glance on someone else, these are not random decisions. They are subtle manifestations of control. This dynamic is encapsulated in what Dostoevsky called the paradox of the underground man. The more a man seeks approval from others, the deeper his contempt grows for his own dependence on it. And women, knowingly or not, perpetuate this cycle with uncanny skill. Scientific research underscores this reality. A 2017 study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found men to be 3 times more likely to adjust their long-term goals based on a woman's nonverbal cues than on her direct requests. This is not simple persuasion. It is psychological warfare played out in the shadows, a game of quiet domination that has endured through the ages. In the heart of 19th century Paris, a gifted composer named Henri became ensnared in a love story that would slowly unravel his very soul. Celeste, a captivating socialite, never demanded he abandon his music, nor criticized his art. Yet, through subtle gestures, a faint sigh during his performances, distracted eyes when he spoke of his passion, the way her enthusiasm ignited only at talk of her own world, Henri found himself drifting away from his craft. Gradually, his fingers forgot the keys. His mind lost its melodies. When he finally confronted Celeste, her words were coldly simple. "I never asked you to change. You did that yourself. This is the quiet trap. Submission is rarely commanded. It is engineered." Dostoevsky saw this clearly, and more importantly, offered a way out. In Notes from the Underground, he writes, "Man only likes to count his troubles, but he does not count his joys." This means that once a man makes a woman's approval the measure of his success, he has already lost. When her indifference becomes his yardstick, he becomes enslaved. But how does one break free? The answer lies in a moment often overlooked in crime and punishment. Raskolnikov, consumed by guilt and paranoia, enters the room of Sonia, a courtesan with a saint's heart. Expecting scorn or pity, he is met with silence. She offers him only a Bible and waits. Within this quiet, Raskolnikov, the proud nihilist, falls to his knees and weeps. The true weapon is not dominance or aggression, but the unbearable weight of silent expectation, a weapon women have wielded for centuries. Yet, what if this could be turned against them? Consider Vienna, 1895. Sigmund Freud faces Anna O., a woman afflicted with hysterical paralysis. No physical ailment explains her condition, only a mind powerful enough to convince her body it cannot move. Freud's insight was profound. Anna's paralysis was not a weakness, but a tool of control. Her family, especially the men, revolved around her suffering, desperate to appease. Freud noted, "The hysteric does not suffer from her symptoms. She rules through them. This is the game." Women provoke, not with orders, but through sighs, tears, and strategic withdrawal of affection. These subtle levers manipulate men like puppets. Yet Dostoevsky revealed the counterattack. In The Brothers Karamazov, he warned, "Above all, don't lie to yourself." The man who lies to himself and listens to his own lie comes to a point that he cannot distinguish the truth within him. Here is the harsh reality. Most men not only obey these cues, they deceive themselves about their reasons for doing so. In the vibrant yet shadowed world of 1920s Berlin, Klaus, an emerging political figure, became ensnared by Lotte, a cabaret singer whose presence was as enigmatic as it was captivating. She never asked Klaus for money, nor did she demand loyalty from him. Yet, whenever Klaus showed hesitation around her, or questioned the reasons behind her late-night absences and whispered phone conversations, Lotte's response was strikingly cold, not angry, nor dramatic, but completely blank. Time after time, Klaus found himself breaking down, showering her with apologies, gifts, and promises, desperately trying to mend a widening void. By the time she left for Argentina, draining him of everything he had, Klaus was but a hollow shadow of his former self. Remarkably, Lotte never instructed him what to do. She simply made him fear her indifference. This true female dominance lies not in overt demands, but in the quiet dismantling of a man's resolve. Dostoevsky's Underground Man offers a remedy. I say, let the world go to hell, but I should always have my tea. The lesson here is clear. You must become ungovernable, not through anger or rebellion, but through the far more unsettling power of genuine indifference. Supporting this, A 2021 study published in Evolutionary Psychology revealed that men exhibiting low emotional reactions to female disapproval were seen by women as more dominant, even when physically less imposing. This Stonewall effect confuses women, biologically attuned to emotional engagement, when faced with a man who does not react. Dostoevsky's underground man, despised by society, refuses to conform. In doing so, he attains a twisted strength, freedom from the need to be understood. How can this be applied? First, stop confessing. Vulnerability is not what women desire. They crave unshakable steadiness, like Prince Mishkin in The Idiot, whose downfall was not kindness itself, but the desperate need to be recognized for it. The moment you seek her approval or explain yourself, you hand over control. Second, cultivate strategic silence. Stavrogin, the most feared character in Demons, rarely speaks. While others plead or rage, he observes, and that silence elevates him to near divinity. When confronted with loaded questions such as, "Do you even care about me?" resist reassuring or justifying. Instead, hold the silence and watch the tension build as she struggles to fill it. Lastly, reclaim and hold your purpose as absolute. Dostoevsky's words, "The soul is healed by being with children," mask a deeper truth. A man who relies on external sources for healing is enslaved forever. Your mission, your art, your philosophy, these must be your unwavering foundation, chosen even if every woman vanished tomorrow. Most men falter here, mistaking indifference for cruelty. They are not one and the same. The underground man is free not because he hates, but because he no longer cares about being loved. And that, gentlemen, is the ultimate display of power. In The Brothers Karamazov, a scene unfolds that reveals the cold precision of female escalation. Ivan, the thinker, the skeptic, is caught in a conversation with Katerina Ivanovna, a woman who professes love for him. Yet her love is far from gentle. It manifests as relentless pressure disguised as care, pushing and prodding until Ivan breaks. "You're tormenting me." Then, with masterful calculation, she sheds tears, not from pain, but from victory. Ivan, the rationalist, is left drowning in guilt, forced into apologies by her emotional assault. This dynamic, this Dostoevskian duel, plays out when a woman's usual methods falter and she escalates. Men, conditioned to fear tears, typically collapse. But what if you refuse to? Recall St. Petersburg, 1849. Dostoevsky, accused of conspiracy, faces a firing squad. Rifles rise, the command sounds, and then a pardon arrives. The Tsar's cruelty was not in killing, but in the cruel hope to see Dostoevsky beg before being spared. Yet Dostoevsky defied the expectation. The man who bows to terror ceases to be a man. Women escalate because they expect submission. Tears, accusations, outbursts, these are tests of resolve. Consider Sergei, a Russian officer in an affair with Natalia, a nobleman's wife. When Sergei tries to end it, Natalia doesn't plead. She burns his letters and whispers, "Now you'll remember me with every fire." Extreme, yes, but this is escalation's truth. Women don't retreat, they double down. A 2020 psychological science study found women are 47% more likely to use emotional coercion, outbursts, self-harm threats, public shaming when sensing withdrawal. Termed the scorched earth reflex, it overwhelms men who fear chaos. Dostoevsky's underground man counters, "I am alone, and they are everyone." Accept the role of villain in her narrative. How does this manifest? Phase 1. False accusations. Losing grip, she accuses you of abandonment, cruelty, Indifference. In Demons, Liza accuses Stavrogan of soul murder, not fact, but provocation. Most men panic and prove care. The underground man's tactic? Agree. Yes, I am a monster. Now what? This disarms her. Phase 2. Emotional ambush. Tears and you've changed follow. In The Idiot, Nastassya throws money into fire, daring Rogojin to save it. Control, not cash. Imagine Rogojin laughed. Burn it all. True power. Tears matter only if you feel responsible to dry them. Phase 3. Social ultimatum. She publicizes your conflict, branding you villain. Most men beg and lose. Raskolnikov's escape? Confess on his terms, refusing society's judgment. When dragged into public court, walk away. Let her scream into silence. The ultimate weapon, indifference with a smile. From notes from the underground. I could not become anything, neither good nor bad. This refusal to be pinned down is power. When tears fall and accusations fly, do not react. Smile, nod, and let her exhaust herself. A 2018 study showed men who remain indifferent hold the upper hand 72% more. Escalation seeks reaction. No reaction means no power. There is a final, brutal strategy. Dostoevsky wrote, "The best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's locked up." Flip this. Win by leaving before the fight begins. At signs of escalation, passive aggression, guilt trips. Fine, do what you want. Leave calmly. Let her wonder and panic. Let her need you. But what if she won't let go? What if she hunts you relentlessly? The final gambit emerges. In Crime and Punishment, after Raskolnikov's confession, Sonia clings with terrifying intensity, promising to follow him even to Siberia. Not love, but possession. She wants his redemption on her terms. History shows men who thought they escaped, only to find obsession mutates. Take Tchaikovsky and patron Nadezhda von Meck, 14 years of silent support until he married. She cut him off instantly. You chose your path. Walk it alone. The void broke him, inspiring his Pathétique symphony. Coincidence? Or female retaliation's harsh lesson? Modern psychology calls it enmeshment trauma. A 2022 study found women high in covert narcissism are 83% likelier to engage in post-breakup sabotage, rumors, undermining new relationships, turning friends into spies. Dostoevsky foresaw this in The Eternal Husband, a cuckold haunted not by love, but by orchestrated revenge. How to survive. Stage 1. The Hoover maneuver, when indifference flips to pulling back. Messages, anger, all bait. Most men crack, mistaking it for desire. The underground man knows. She wants the version of you that wanted her. Responding resets the trap. The countermove? Silent blackout. No reply, no drama. A 2021 MIT study shows silence reduces re-engagement by 94% in 21 days. Absence is obsession's kryptonite. Stage 2. Social hostage crisis. When silence fails, she weaponizes your world. Friends pull away, colleagues glance oddly. Social triangulation aims to isolate. The escape? Preemptive scorched earth. Withdraw by choice. Announce retreat or detox. Then publicly thrive. Deny her narrative, and her power crumbles. Stage 3. Resurrection play. When all seems lost, she returns, not desperate, but as your idealized vision. New hobbies, looks, interests align, a mirror to pull you back. This is Dostoevsky's ruthless psychology of power and freedom. Master it, and you step beyond the game, armed with indifference and your own path. If this exploration has stirred something within you, share your thoughts in the comments. or simply your presence. Thank you for walking this path with us today. If this journey has stirred something within you, reflection, awareness, even clarity, know that you are not alone. Until next time, take care of your energy and honor your intuition.